You sued your doctor for medical malpractice, and now, during the course of your lawsuit, the defense attorneys, the attorneys who represent the people whom you have sued, now have a chance to question you. You walk into our conference room and you see 3 lawyers sitting there. And you turn to me and say, is each one of them going to be able to question me? And the answer is, come join me for a moment as I share with you the answer to that question. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. And the answer is, yes, each one of them will be able to ask you questions. Your next question to me is, wait a second, are they going to be asking me the same exact questions? Because if that happens, you'll be sitting there all day for hours and hours, endlessly. The reality is, they have the right to ask the same exact questions, but in reality, in practicality, they don't. So here's what typically happens. When we bring a lawsuit against your doctor and let's say hospital staff, we will name the first person, the person who we believe is most culpable, the most responsible for your injuries, as the first named in the caption in the lawsuit. So let's say it's Dr. Jones, and we believe that he's responsible for causing most of your injuries. So we will name him as the first named defendant in the lawsuit papers. And there may be hospital staff after that. Okay, so there's an attorney representing Dr. Jones, there's an attorney representing hospital staff, and there may be other attorneys representing other doctors whom you have sued as well. In many instances, each doctor will have their own attorney representing them, and they will all show up for your questioning, for your deposition, which is really a question and answer session that's given under oath in our conference room. You should know something. There's no judge there, and there's no jury there, but there is a court stenographer there who's going to be there recording all of the questions that you are asked and all of the answers that you give. Okay, so now you're wondering, okay, I don't understand. How is it that each one of them have an opportunity to question you and now ask you tons and tons of questions? Well, here's what happens. Because these attorneys don't know exactly what happened in your own words, they have the opportunity to find out from you and ask you exactly what happened. Hey, Mr. Gold, tell us what happened. When you went to Dr. Jones for the first time, what did he do when you made these complaints? Did he examine you? Did he say something to you? Tell us about those conversations that you had. And now, when did you come back to the office? What were you told? And now the attorneys will have a chance to learn more information. Remember, they are working off of the same medical records that we are, but we are at a slight advantage at this point. What's the advantage? The advantage is that we've had an opportunity to talk to you and to meet with you. We know from your viewpoint exactly what happened, and we've gone into great depth and detail talking to you to learn all that information. The defense, likewise, has done the same thing, but from the defense standpoint, meaning from the doctor's standpoint. So they're missing key information. They're missing information about conversations that have occurred. Why? Because they don't know about them yet, and they're certainly going to find out about it. Plus, they don't know exactly what happened to you and how these injuries have affected you on a daily basis. So they will have an opportunity to go ahead and ask you these specific questions. So now, after Dr. Jones's attorney has spent hours, literally hours, asking you all these questions, now it's time for the attorney who represents Dr. Number 2 to now ask you questions. Is he going to ask you all the same questions? No, he's not going to ask you all the same questions. He's going to do his best to try and fill in the blanks, to ask you questions that attorney number 1 did not ask about. And he's going to ask questions focused primarily on Dr. Number 2. Hey, Mr. Gold, tell me about your interactions with Dr. Number 2. Tell me how often you spoke to him. Tell me in your interactions that you had with him in the hospital. Explain to me what you told him and what he told you at these various interactions. Now attorney number 2 gets to ask you specific questions about what happened with Dr. Number 2. And now when this attorney is done questioning, he'll turn the questioning over to the next lawyer. And the next lawyer will do the same thing, trying to focus on your interactions with the doctor whom they represent. So let's go back to the title of this video. Just because there's more than one attorney, or 2 or 3, does that mean they get to ask all the same questions? In reality, no, they don't get to, and they won't ask all the same questions. They're going to ask very specific, focused questions relating mostly to their own individual client, the doctor whom you have sued, as well as learning from you what problems you have now and those things you can and cannot do. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you because it's a freezing cold day today here in Great Neck. I wanted to shoot video indoors instead of doing it outside. And I thought this would be great information for you to learn if you're considering bringing a case on your behalf because of the treatment that you received from a careless doctor or careless hospital staff. I recognize you're likely watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you have not yet started a lawsuit, but are thinking of doing so and still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. Well, that's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a fantastic day.